Hello, my name is Koos the Villiers, owner of Talisman Hire Strand and others, your trusted solution provider in the Helderberg and surroundings. And today we're talking about generators, a hot topic of the moment. And the question generally is around generators versus solar versus battery. What should we use? So let's start with how to resolve the issue at hand at the moment, load shedding, and also applying generators in your day-to-day use. So let's look at the first thing that I would discuss with you is please optimize first before buying or hiring a generator. So when people walk into our shop, in our premises, the question is, I want a generator. And they've got no clue about what size generator is required. So the first thing is, let's try and optimize your premises first. Go from normal bulbs that you use at home to LEDs. Try and minimize the consumption required too. So don't use the generator anything that requires elements. So those are typically your ovens, your geysers, your electric geysers, and a washing machine that requires water heating, as well as your kettle. So that's the first thing that I would suggest you. Then the next thing is, obviously the next question I would ask people is, do you require a single phase or a three phase? The difference between single and three phases: for single phase, you've got a neutral, you've got an earth, and you've got a live. A three phase, you've basically got three lives and a neutral and an earth. That's the second question you would ask your customer. The third with that is as well is whether they are going to use it for electronic purposes. And if for electronic purposes, you need an AVR. AVR stands for ampage voltage regulator. And that is basically cleaning the energy that comes from the generator so that it does not damage your electronic equipment. So whether you need it for electronic purposes, AVR is required. So let's determine how you're going to calculate the size that you require, because the more equipment you're going to place on, the bigger generator you're going to require. So every piece of equipment would have a data plate on it, and on that plate data sheet, there's the wattage that is required for the use and the functioning of that product. If you use an angle grinder, you get a 2000 watt angle grinder. You also get a 3000 watt angle grinder. So know what your product is required. And then every product would probably use double the amount of wattage for startup purposes. So if I would give you a 2000 watt angle grinder, I would not give you a 2.5 kVA generator. I would give you a 4.5 kVA generator. So the startup ampage or what required would not damage your product in the use thereof. The calculation, always remember that a generator has got a rated output, and you start with 15 kVA, for example, and you lose 20% efficiency. You operate the generator on 80% of its maximum output. So 15 kVA less 20% gets to 12 kVA. And then typically, and you're lucky if you're in Cape Town, because then you don't have the air pressure disadvantage of another less 18%, which would bring you below 10% kVA on a 15 kVA or rated output kVA. So that's also something to keep into consideration. Look at your products, what you want them to, what wattage would require. By example, if you've got 10 5-watt LED lights, it's 50 watt, versus if you just have one kettle, it's 2,500 watts. So therein is the conundrum. Find the maximum balance. A TV is typically anything from 300 to 600 watts. A microwave, which you would require, is typically in the region of about 1,500 watt. So add those together. Then my next suggestion is find an electrician to do the correct and the legal linkage into your DB board with the changeover switch. Crucial, important, safety first before you start applying a generator at your home or office use. Then people, I just want to say, I trust you have found this informative, and please forward us your stories on how to use generators, which we will gladly share on the net. And please visit our offices for more detail. Have a blessed day, and thank you for listening.